G'day and welcome back for more Space Engineers Survival. The first thing we need to do is get ourselves another chicken hawk. And the nugget is set up perfectly for that, hopefully. So that share thing, from what people tell me, it's actually for multiplayer, so welding someone else's grids, not for getting the welders to assist each other. Which makes some sense, I guess. So it's something I don't need to worry about in this one. One new chicken hawk. Better keep clear of that welder wall. I was very, very close. Okay, I might actually make two since I've not got the ugly duckling parked down here. Could be helpful to have a backup in case this first one goes very, very badly. Every time I go and use this welder wall, it makes me remember just how much I want to build a printer. Because it is so quick to print off these things, and it makes them feel as cheap as I intended them to be. Makes them feel like something I can just throw away because it takes me about 20 seconds to build one. Maybe a bit longer than that, but still, not very long. Don't think we need to make 3 for the moment, since it did take me actually attacking an enemy base to lose one. But I'm going to go pretty wild trying to take out these drones before they get here. So I think it'll be fun. And I've been down in that dark hole building that tram line for quite a few episodes now. I think it's time to get outside again. See some sunshine. Before I grab the other one, let's just put this on recharge so we get enough charge for it. Should probably give this a name too. Info. Chicken Hawk 2. The other one could be Chicken Hawk 1. I don't think we'll give versions to the Chicken Hawks too carefully. I'm probably going to go through a lot of them. Now, did they rearm themselves? Yes, they did. I was having a think about the Chicken Hawk and about using the use of the connector on it. And you know what? I can't actually think of a more space efficient means to get a rearmable drone. Because if we look through, the ways that we can get cargo on board would be through an advanced rotor. And the advanced rotor part would, yes, be smaller than the connector. However, it would have to be attached to... That is not how you spell junction. Ah. There we go. It'd have to attach to one of these, which is even bigger than the connector. So that doesn't work. And we don't really have other options. It's not like we can use a piston and detach and reattach its head, though it would be awesome if we could, because then you could have little umbilicals that come out, and we lock onto a piston head that's attached to the base. Lock on, disconnect, retract it, and fly off. Be totally cool if we could do that, but not possible. Though maybe it would be possible to grind one of the piston heads away, because you can. No, you can only add a piston head. You can't attach, so that still wouldn't work. We need the attach and detach button added to pistons. Be totally awesome if we had that. Merge blocks won't help us get cargo on board, so that won't work. So it really is just left to the connector. And it's, you know, it is a bit bigger than I would ideally like. Alrighty. You. Recharge is off. Let's turn our connector off. Let's go make sure we're down near the controls in case I need to get to them. And control. Nope, wrong one. Yeah, this is the one I want. Let's get moving. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Okay, what do we got? Fleeting rival, drifting pursuant. Drifting pursuant's in closer. Let's see what we can do. Oh man, I miss flying this thing. I'm so glad to have one back. Even though I didn't have time to paint it. I really wanted to paint it. And try and make it look at least a little bit interesting. Oh, it's coming after me. I'm scoring hits. I think it's firing back. Oh, yep, definitely firing back at me. Did I take out its turret? I took its turret out. Oh yeah. Down she goes. Blammo. Yes. Good little chicken hawk. Well done. Alright, who's our next victim? What do we got? Got another fleeting rival. That did use up a third of my ammunition though. I do need to keep that in mind. The fleeting rival should be a much easier target because it doesn't have the turret on top. The drifting pursuant makes it extra difficult because I can actually get shot at. Oh. The fleeting rival is gone. Fine. Oh, no, no it's not. Let's keep our height advantage. Whoa, it's gone past. Oh yeah! 2 from 2. Yes. Alright, what do we got on this side here? I bet it's a crashed one. Is it neutralized though? Don't really care about the salvage, I just want to take this thing out. Oh yeah. Bye bye. What do we got here? Drifting pursuant and fleeting rival. Ooh. You probably have an intact turret on top, and you are just hovering around doing silly things. Alright, we're in range. Oh, it took out the tree. Oh, I think I took it down. Well, this has been a comprehensive victory so far. Strafing run on the stranded pursuant. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Vroom. Oh yeah. You're done for. Now, what is my antenna range set to? Let's increase that. Let's go to remote access and let's have a look at our base's antenna. I want to make sure that I don't lose signal. Okay. Ooh, spiteful aggressor. I think spiteful aggressors have missiles. This could end interestingly. I do not think I'm going to have the same luck dodging missiles in this as I did in Capac's little truck. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Are you going down already? Oh yeah, you're going down. And I bet you're going to blow up your missile turret, so I can't even steal your missiles. Oh, there's nothing left. Okay. Let's go investigate this remote drone assembly base then, shall we? Oh yeah. Barrel, aileron roll? Roll, anyway. Whee! And loop the loop. Oh, that makes me feel a bit ill. I should stop doing that. Ugh. Oh, it's in the darkness. Am I going to be able to see anything? All I see is blue fog. Oh, that's right. Haha. Some of you might recognize this base, although the last time you saw it was probably in white. I probably don't want to get too close to this thing because I'm pretty sure I added a bunch of turrets to the outside of it. Yep, I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but they're all interior turrets. I could try and take this out, but this looks like a base that would be much more fun to take out on the ground. So I might leave it be. Just take this as a recon run. Let's head on home. That was a pretty successful battle there, actually. The only real potential threat I had, though, was the drifting pursuant right at the start. Everything else was just easy. Oh, so happy with the performance of this little thing. It's a dream, it's a dream. Someone suggested that I should put one of these up at the Solar Axe, and you know what? I'm gonna do it. That way, if when I'm doing more work on building it, I'll at least have something that can go out and do some forward attack. Oh, stinging adversaries coming out. Alright. You want to spawn more enemies for me? Fine. I've got 954 rounds left. I reckon I can take you. But I think I think I will set one up to be staged at the Solar Axe. Be really handy to have that assertive defense. Alright, little friend. Kind of need the HUD markers so that I can see the distance. Alright, and now we probably don't. Oh, scoring hits, scoring hits. I think I took out its control system. Oh yeah, now it's going down. Oh yeah. So much fun. This is going to be so distracting for me. I'm going to end up using this thing all the time when I really should be just focusing on my builds. Oh well. I reckon it's worth it. I was about to try and do some low altitude flying, but it's probably not a good idea. Even though I now can very quickly reprint one of these, it still seems very wasteful for me to just crash one into the ground. Playing silly buggers flying along like this. Whee! Whee! It is fun though. Trying to do some terrain following flying. There's a better term for that. It's just escaping me right now. I love that I just said, it's probably not a good idea to do this, and then what's the first thing I do? I do it. I am trying to give myself at least a small buffer zone. Oh yeah. Active defenses for the win. Once I get some ammunition stored up at the Solar Axe, then I'll take one of these up there so that it can operate from that new base. I've got a programmable block on board, but I didn't have the transmit receive script. What the? Aww. Where did I run out of power then? I'm gonna have to look at the footage. I'm betting I ran out of power. Oh. I was just about to land. Oh, it's so unfair. Alright. Well, you had your one trip, little friend. Sadly, no more. I bet I ran out of power. I just wasn't paying attention. Speaking of running out of power, let's make this one much less likely to have that happen. Recharge on. I'm just glad I didn't take out anything else. I was really worried I was going to come around here and find this connector destroyed, this second chicken hawk destroyed, and all sorts of other horrific things. But fortunately, that wasn't the case. Now, I think... I think We should jump across to the silo. Because I want to take out one of these drones with a missile. It's going to be interesting trying to get a camera angle on that though. Oh, come on. 7.75 k's away. I really want to do this with the missile. Oh, wait. Oh. It's pretty much going to end up being a kinetic strike, I think, again. Actually, you know what? If that fleeting rival gets there before... Oh, there's a drifting pursuant. Now that's a real target. Let's get that sensor welded up. And then I'm going to use this to take out the drifting pursuant. I'm going to have to set up the camera as well. Oh, it's nighttime too. No. This is either going to be spectacular or completely pointless. I'm just going to have to hope that when I hit it, it's when it's moving slowly so that I can actually see it from the spectator cam. Okay, sensor, what you are going to do is detect friendly off, detect neutral off, detect owner off. You're going to detect small ships on. And let's drop this down to 3 meters. Merge block is disconnected. Taking control again. And away we go. Oh yeah. Nighttime launch. Alright, arming the warhead. Gonna try and sit a bit steady so I can just make sure that our sensor is set up on a warhead that is actually present. Yes, it is. This is gonna be an interesting thing to do tactically. Now we got our drifting pursuants 4Ks ahead. Let's get a decent camera view so that I can jump to it as soon as the rocket is out of action. No, 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 no. Oh, I think I lost connection because I was outside the range and there wasn't an antenna on the silo that was giving me extra range. Okay, 5K's out. There we go, can see it. Let's jump back to the camera. You know what? This is totally not going to work. I'm going to do something different. I'm going after the base. I'm going to go after the antenna, and I'm going to stop these things from harassing me. Oh no! No, I'm not. I'm going to get hit. Taking hits, taking hits, taking hits! Ooh! That was lucky. That was very lucky. Oh, there's another drifting pursuant down there. Oh no, coming in too close to it. Swing around and make it hard to hit. No, no! No! Ah! Running the gauntlet to get this shot in. Oh no. Oh no! Losing altitude! Losing altitude! Badly! Oh, I think it took out one of my thrusters. Dang it. Dang it, dang it, dang it. Alright, chicken hook it is. Let's grab... Oh, I'm going to need to go inside because the silly remote controls don't work when you disconnect from grids anymore. Dang it. Oh, it's so disappointing. Oh, this is terrifying at night. Oh man, I cannot see at all. And in case you were wondering, I was pressing spacebar like crazy trying to get that missile to not hit the ground. I think we'll have to wait till daytime and make sure we get Reggie in so that I've got a separate camera that I don't need to worry so much about. Because trying to do it from one point of view was just probably not my best idea. Alright, you evil cretin. Start reversing. Keep distance. Oh no, taking fire, taking fire, taking fire! Evasive, evasive! No, more fire! Incoming! Oh, hearing plinks! Oh, not good, not good, not good. Oh, yes, turret's down. Okay. Yeah. Thruster time. Oh no! It's going for us! Oh! That's just rude. Oh, I'm still in control of it, apparently. Something remained. Ah. We lost our other chicken hawk. It slammed into me. Didn't see it doing that maneuver. Alright. Well, I think I just successfully lost everything that I built. It was fun doing it though. Let's grab another chicken hawk just so we got one ready. They were meant to be mostly disposable. So it's not all that disastrous that this happened. Well, those military losses, sort of losses, do make me think that as soon as we get this tram functional, we need to build the tank that I want to build to go and attack that base. Because if we can handle it, at least then I really won't suffer from direct attacks too often. Although, I may have some plans to make it so that I still will. They'll just be more rare and more devastating. Make of that what you will. Yeah, I'm planning on making this much tougher once I get rid of these bases. In fact, with the rate I go through these, let's just make both and get them both ready. Oh man. This is why I love fighting with drones though. Because, yeah, it's sad when you lose one, but geez, you can do some stuff that I would just never do as if I was flying the fighter directly. Because, well, I still haven't died, so I'm progressively becoming more and more cautious because this particular clone keeps getting more and more valuable. The longer it lasts, the more horribly painful it's going to be when I finally lose it. And I bet if I haven't lost it by the time I get to space, Lucas is going to be the one that kills me. That's what I reckon is going to happen. He's going to be responsible. And it's going to be hilarious. I hope. I hope it's devastating and hilarious at the same time. Kind of like a black comedy. Alright, 2 chicken hawks ready to go. If I see we've got a lot of enemies coming in at once. Once it's daylight, in fact, let's go over there and print one off so it's ready to go. But once it's daylight, I think we should launch our missile strike at the enemy base as well. So I've got the missile ready. I've got a new blueprint set up with everything, I think, properly set up. And we'll be in the launch position. So as soon as we have some decent daylight, we can make an attack on that drone base. Because, it'll be so nice to stop having those drifting pursuants come in. Give us a chance to really get some base progress done. Plus, if we take out the antenna, then we've got cleared air. Well, we've got cleared air so that we can then take my planned tank attack in on that base. But enough of military distractions. Let's get on to building this tram. So what I've done is I've moved the projection up and over to the right because our pistons can push left. What am I running to? Yeah. Our pistons can push it further left and push it down. So I want to start over that way a bit. In fact, I might push it a little more to the right. I'm going to end up doing this whole thing by hand because I just don't see much need of setting up a whole projection system up just for the tram building because I'm not going to end up building that many of them. Now I just need to weld the core functional blocks, so the wheels and actually just the wheels and the core frame. There isn't anything else that needs to be added to this just yet. Everything else will be different on this tram to the previous tram set. So I was thinking a bit more about my potential use of the Rudolph against enemy drones, and I'll be honest, I don't think it's probably the best idea. It's quite an expensive missile, because I made it quite large in order to try and make it effective against a base that had several turrets, potentially. And so it's really not going to be the best anti-ship missile. It's also not very efficient in it's not very maneuverable, so attacking something that's moving might not be something it's particularly well suited at. So here is our basic frame for our tram. My idea I have is to put a raised section at the front here where we can stand and control the tram, and another one at the rear as well, so that we can control it from either end. Have a nice open flat section in the middle, and after a few comments and discussing with people in the comments, I think we're probably going to be best off using small grid batteries. The reason for that is we can use small grid rotor parts to join the batteries to the base and to join them to the tram. And small grid rotor parts are quite, well, small, whereas large grid ones are huge. And the reason I was thinking that rotor parts, rather than the merge blocks that I discussed last time, should be the way we go, is that rotor parts and attaching to rotors can work even if I completely deplete these batteries. So something this small looks kind of cool and looks like a real connection, whereas something this big on just a couple of batteries looks kind of ridiculous. And it's really more of an aesthetic thing that made me decide that. So let's get on with designing our tram. If we're going to have small grid batteries, we should probably leave room for maybe 11 blocks in between, because that'll be 3 batteries side by side, and we could possibly do a quite large battery unit depending on how much weight these wheels can actually carry along the tram line. That gives us something to work from. I also think it'd be kind of nice for the tram front to go a bit ahead of the wheels, so the wheels aren't the very first thing. So maybe we'll come out a couple of blocks. I was thinking of making this sort of have not an aerodynamic front, just a slightly rounded on each corner sort of thing. So 2x1s all the way across the front here. Got to leave a decent amount of clearance from the rail so we don't end up having any collisions. All right. So in my head, this tram was, once I put these little boxes on the front and back, a lot smaller than it actually is. And I was kind of thinking, I imagined it being longer than this once I put those on, but these things look huge. That is like much larger an area than is necessary here. So I think we're going to have to try a different approach to the design, because I don't like it feeling quite so enormous. And I'm also going to definitely be changing up the design of this station platform. I think we may end up with these on the platform instead, because that will almost allow walking straight across. In fact, if I come out to where I'm actually out to at the moment, will it? Uh-oh. I think I'm wedged. It'll allow straight walking off. Wonder if I do this. Oh, yeah. I can mind the gap. Sweet. All right. I may not have worked out the design yet, but I have worked out how we'll do the walk on, walk off. And I think we know the width of the platform, because if I went any wider on this tram design, it would be ridiculous. It would be the fattest tram you've ever seen. Maybe. It'd be like the Antonov of trams. What if we instead make a sort of support unit up here so we can make this a bit shorter? If instead of having the tram actually go up to this height, for the control section, and we make these bits look more designed rather than just haphazardly placed. And then we have these kind of little bars reaching up to where those wheels are. Oops, keep doing that. So I was thinking and tossing up between whether we'd use a cockpit on this, because it could work having this kind of out the front, maybe even a block further than that. Oops. Having our cockpit set out here, and then having us enter from the back of the cockpit. Probably not at that height. Maybe setting the cockpit up, say, that high. Wow, every single time, eh? It's going to do the decompression effect. If we have it set up at this height, we can walk on and off. That's all good. And then we'll get in and out through the back of the cockpit, which would make us get into control of it much more quickly than having to go through the remote control thing and taking control of it, which would be nice. Just wonder whether it'll fit in with the design ideas that I had. The problem I have with the cockpits, and it's even true with the rover cockpit, is because they're only 3 blocks high, if I'm going to walk on and off the tram beside them, I need a bunch of extra blocks above it. And I'm just not sure with how broad this thing is that I can actually make that work in a way that's aesthetically right. The real challenge I'm having with myself right now is that I want this tram to look a bit boxy, but I almost always fight against the idea of making something boxy. So I'm fighting against my natural tendencies here, and I want it to look boxy without looking too boxy, if that makes even a tiny bit of sense. It's just difficult. What I think we'll do is we'll pop a couple of railings, like maybe this way. One there, one there. Have this part be effectively outside the cabin of the tram. Then the cabin can start from here. Actually, let's go with these. Now I did realize that I do have a type of door in my current list of mods that will actually work on small grids. However, they're enormous. Like, truly enormous. If we go to our industrial doors, this one. That's how big they are on a small grid. I don't think I can realistically make my cabin a size where that's going to work. So, I'm not going to do that on this tram. However, I'm going to remember that these doors exist, and I'm going to use them on the passenger tram, because the passenger tram, we can have them in the middle, sort of there-ish, on each side, so we can walk on, and then there'll be a bunch of seats and things around. So the passenger tram can certainly make use of them. But this one's going to be open-aired. Maybe I'll make a little curve with these, with the 2x1s, then the half-slope blocks. Maybe that'll get the kind of rounded old-school tram look that I'm after. And then do the same rounding on the back here. Except the back bit, I think, might look best if we have a bit of a window that looks through into the cargo area. So we'll have a window both front and back of this cabin section. That fleeting rival is getting here relatively quickly. Nope, it's stuck again. Alright, we should be okay. I don't think it's going to be able to make it here before it runs out, before its timer expires, and then it just gets deleted. Now, what to do with this edge here? Maybe we could make it a bit more interesting by putting a couple of these in. That might give us our boxiness without being overly boxy. Extra row across here, just to make it, again, a bit more varied. Now, let's weld this up and let's see how it looks. I think we might have a design that's going to be pretty... initially it's probably still going to look pretty awful, but I think we'll get us close enough that we can start doing iterative changes on it and improving it to try and get it looking as good as I want. I strongly suspect this is going to be one of those designs where adding color is going to be its saving grace. And that until I add the color, it's not quite going to be what we're looking for. Okay. That almost works. I think though, with these cutout bits, I'm going to need to make this have something extra on the side here. So I don't want a completely open window. So what I was thinking of doing, and let's quickly go sit in the naughty chair, face the wall and recharge. And then we will get ourselves some interior plate, some extra hydrogen. And the idea I have is to use some LCDs. Oh, you're just too big. Although, are you? Because I was going to use... no, that looks a bit silly. So I'm going to use the text panels to create a sort of wireframe window fill. Like this. Since we don't have glass, we may as well have at least a cage so that it is closed. Yeah, I think that works okay. What are we going to do on these side bits? The side bits are going to be tricky on this. It's always a challenge to work out how to do transitions when you don't have the necessary blocks for the specific transition you're doing. And working out which part to leave off is going to look best. And I think this will work like this. By putting those two corner pieces up there, it kind of gives the arch feel, which works with the rest of the rounded look that we've got on this thing. It's just thinking about top versus bottom and whether I should do this curve that I've used on the top down this end, but I feel like doing the same top and bottom would look a little bit strange. So we'll go with just a standard 45-degree edge here. I feel like it's kind of coming together. Let's get rid of these bits I did up the top here when I was trying something else. I keep playing around with this area with these wheels and it's making me very nervous because it's going to be so easy to grind off the wrong thing. So I want to make these look a little bit like those overhead power connections that a lot of trams have. Just thought I'd try both sides and see which one looked better. I think the one on the right looks a bit better. The thing that I was kind of feeling with this was that it didn't look like it was really solidly connected to the top of the tram, and by adding those extra ramps around, I feel like it's improved that a lot. Okay. It's a pretty chubby looking tram, but shape-wise I'm reasonably happy. I could, if I wanted to make it look a bit more curvy, put curves down the side here. The trouble is then this transition up here gets even more ugly. And I realize it's strange, but I think that the curve looks better not being done with a curve. But let's have a look anyway. Let's see. If I get rid of these down here, that one has to stay. And I put curves down, which are my most forgotten block. So I just struggle to work out when I can actually use them. No, they definitely don't look better there. That looks horrible. What about using these? Don't think that's any better. In fact, I think in a lot of ways it's worse. You know what? I'm gonna go back to the angles. I don't think the curves really work. If I'd done the whole thing with curved corners rather than doing it with making a wider curve, it might look okay, but I do like the bigger curved section rather than just a single block as a curve. And I feel like having the angles all the way around and having that consistency looks better than having curves in just one section. Okay, how does that looking for the front of the tram? And I was going to repeat this exact design at the rear, although, you know, front and rear are kind of ambiguous given the shape of this. And then the center will be where the batteries sit. I kind of feel like this has come together reasonably well. Could definitely use some extra details around the place, and I should probably pop in some text panels on this window as well. Alright, so I've ended up with something that's kind of, for lack of a better word, cute. But I think it's gonna grow on me. I feel like it'll work. And when we have the same shape at the other end, we'll get a much better idea of how it's going to all come together. I've been trying to think of some other little small grid blocks that I might be able to use for decorative purposes within the mod list that I've got. There are some options, not a huge number. In fact, some of the blocks in here are actually small grid as well, like the shelf and things like that. So I can put some other details in around here, and I'd kind of be interested to see what ideas you guys have in terms of what might be usable as a detailing block. My idea for controlling this is something that's going to be a little bit bizarre, and I hope it works, but I have no idea if it will. I haven't tried it yet. But the idea will be to get a bunch of buttons, putting a go faster, go slower, and emergency handbrake. Because really that's all we need for this tram. We need something that's going to increase the override on the wheels, decrease it, and then something that can put on the emergency brakes if we need. And so I should be able to drive while standing and walking around. That's my hope, because I think that'll be incredibly cool. No seats, no cockpits, just buttons. We'll see how it turns out. So there's testing that, and plenty more to come, and I will see you then.